Hi friends, good morning. So this is Reshma. Welcomes you to the discussion of database management concepts. Okay, in previous session, we have discussed about different type of constraints to be followed in the database. So now in this session, we'll discuss about different operations which we can perform on database, and while performing those operations, sometimes they violate the different database constraints. Then when the database constraints will be violated and how to deal with those violations will be discussed here. So to begin with, the DBMS relational data model. So here we can perform mainly two type of operations. One is retrieving the data from the database. So while retrieving, there may not be any violations as we are just accessing the data which is already entered. Second type of operation is updation operation on relations of relation data model. So now here the update operation includes so mainly three types of basic operations. With the help of those three operations, we can change the state of the relations. That is, the content of the relations can be changed with the help of these three operations. So they are insert, so where we can add a new tuple to the relation, deleting the content, deleting the tuples from the relation or the values from the relation, then updating or modifying the already inserted values. So now while doing these three operations, there is a possibility of violation of the constraints, and we'll learn how to deal with those violations. So let's begin with insert operation. So here, the insert operation, it provides a list of attribute values for a new tuple, and that is to be inserted into the relation. So for example, if we perform insert operation, there are four type of constraints violation may happen. First one, it may violate domain constraints. So how the domain constraint will be violated? So while inserting, if an attribute value is given that does not appear in the corresponding domain, or it may not be satisfying, or it may not be according to the data type which we have specified. So like if I have specified date data type and I am not entering the data according to the date format, and I have given integer size as 10, we are trying to enter more than 10 digits. If I have given character size as 15, I'm entering more than 15 characters. And if I have given some data type, some attribute as not null, and I'm trying to give the null value, I'm not entering any value for that attribute. So like this, while inserting, if you do try to enter these type of values which are not satisfying the condition, it leads to domain constraint violation. Then second type of violation is key constraint. So now here in key constraint, whenever you are inserting a new tuple to the relation, so if that relation have, so as we know, every relation will have at least one key attribute. If I try to enter another tuple with the same key value, where the value of primary key is same, in such cases it leads to key constraint violation. Like there is a student with USN 1GA 19CS001 with all his details. Again, while entering the second tuple, again I will give the USN 1GA 19CS001 19CS001. So where the property of the key, that is the key constraint, the key cannot be duplicate, it should be always unique, that property will be violated. Then third is entity integrity constraint. So here this is the entity integrity constraint, is the constraint where we cannot leave primary key value as null. So primary key cannot be null. So while inserting the values, if you are not entering the value for the primary key, then this type of violation may occur. Then finally we have referential integrity constraint. Again, while inserting the values to the table, where some of the attribute referring to the primary key table attributes. In such cases, while entering value, you should be very careful. That is, value of foreign key, it must be same as the primary key. But while entering, if you have given some value to the foreign key, which is not available in the primary key, then it will say parent key not found, and foreign key and referential integrity will be violated. So these are the four possible type of constraint violations may happen while inserting the new tuples. So here we'll see an examples. So now assume that this is an employee which contains SSN, name and phone number with data type integer varchar 20 and number 10. So now this is the table. So this is the table which contains 3 tuples. So now assume that I want to insert one more row. The one more row is inserted here. So now we need to check whether the domain is violated or not. SSN I have entered 400. So integer, okay, done. Then for name I have entered a so number of characters maximum 20. Here I have entered 10. Then phone number, maximum number of digits is 10, but here I have entered number of digits more than 10. So here domain constraint is violated. So we should avoid entering this. So now I have again one more value we have entered for SSN integer, but I have entered the string. For name it is varchar, I have entered a number. Phone number is correct. So but first two columns domain constraints are violated. So this is not allowed. So now if we go for violation of key constraints. So here primary key value cannot be duplicate. So now initially I have a table where all primary key values are unique. So now I am entering the new row. So here in this row SSN I have entered once again 100. So means it is violating key constraint. So key constraint means primary key value should not be same. So this is violated. Entity integrity constraint. So here in primary key cannot be null. Okay, here in this example SSN is a primary key. All values are unique and it is not null. I have entered a new row. Here I have given the name, num and phone number I have entered, but for SSN column we have not entered the value. I kept it null. So but as SSN is a primary key, it will not allow null value. So it will say primary entity integrity constraint violated. So then referential integrity. So now here I have an employee table, then project table. So now in project table, ESSN is a foreign key which is referring to primary key SSN in employee table. So now I want to insert a new tuple to the project table. So here I have entered project table project 4, project name invoice, and ESSN I have entered 1, 2, 3. So means foreign key value is 123. So whenever we are entering the foreign key value, that value should be present in the primary key table SSN. Okay, if I go for primary key table employee, match 1, 2, 3 with the SSN. Whether ESSN 1, 2, 3 is available in the employee SSN? No. So means it will say foreign key constraint, that is referential integrity constraint violated because the parent key is not found for the value 1 to 3. So like this, these are the four situations where the insertion of a tuple into the table has violated the constraints. So now we have delete operation. Again, while deleting, so not only during the insertion of a new tuple, while deleting the already existing tuple, also it may lead to some violation. So but here it will not violate all four conditions. It will violate only referential integrity constraint. So because no violation of domain, because already values are already entered, and key constraint also not violated because already we have entered the values which are unique. But while deleting the values, if I try to delete a primary key, then on that primary key in foreign key table, some of the attributes may be depending. So we cannot delete primary key value when we are having some referencing foreign key. So whenever children are available, we cannot delete the parent. So here we'll see some example. This is an employee table, and we have a foreign key table. SSN is primary key in employee, and same ESSN foreign key in project table. So now what I will do, I will try to delete one of the primary key. For example, I want to delete primary key 300. If I delete 300, now in employee we have only two tuples. One is SSN 100, another SSN 200. So in the previous case, there is no problem here because whatever the foreign key values we have used, they are from the employee table only. So but now SSN 300 is deleted. In primary key table, I have only 100 and 200. But in foreign key table, I have 300 also. That 300 we have deleted in employee table. So whenever we will delete the value of primary key which is referred in foreign key table, so now here it has violated the condition. It will say we cannot delete the primary key because there is a referencing value in the foreign key table. So now here this, because of this row, it will say foreign key is condition is violated. So then in such cases, how to handle this situation? How to handle? While inserting, we can avoid inserting such type of tuples, or we can change the values and then we can insert. But here already existing tuples we are deleting. So then how to solve these type of, what is the remedy for these type of violations? So there are the different options here. First option, so reject such type of deletion. But if at all you want to delete, then second option is we can cascade. So here cascade. So now the meaning of cascading here is, assume that there is an employee in the employee table who is working as a manager in the department table. If the employee left the job, if an employee left the job, or in the employee table itself there is another column, salary column. So if he is an employee of the some particular department, he will be getting some salary. But if employee left the job, is there any meaning to have the salary in a particular table? Or can we use that employee as supervisor for any other employee? No. If employee is not at all working in the department, he cannot behave as a supervisor. In such case, what we need to do, whenever employee left the job, all the referencing value should be deleted. That is on delete cascade. Then on delete, the third option is on delete set null. So here we can take an example like when an employee working in some department and he is also behaving as a manager. So for example, employee with SSN 100, he is the manager of department, some D1. Employee with SSN 100 is manager for some account department. Now, if employee with SSN 100 left the job, who will be the manager for that account department? Can we delete entire account department? No, I can't add the second option like on delete set cascade. Cascade means it should delete the foreign key tuple. But here I can't delete the department because only the employee of that department has left the job. So now that employee cannot be manager of that department. He cannot be manager of the account department. But who is the manager for account department now? Not yet assign any manager to the account department. In such case, what we can do? We can remove it name of the employee who is working as the manager, and we can set null for that particular department. So whenever an employee is deleted, left the job, in the manager place, we can make it null, but we cannot delete the whole department tuple. In such case, we need to solve this type of constraint using set null option. So while deleting a tuple, if it has violated the condition, there are three options. One, we can reject the deletion, or we can set it to cascade, or we can set it to not null. Cascade means all the reference. So wherever we are having referencing tuples in other tables, in all other tables, that referencing tuple should be deleted. In undelete, set null. Whenever a primary key is deleted in all foreign key tables, wherever that primary key is referred, we need to set value as null for all foreign key values. So these are the three options. Then next, so some examples here using on delete set null. So now here, for example, employee table, project table. So now employee 100 working on project P1, again 100 working on project P2, 300 is working on project P3. So now 100 left the job. Then who will work on project P1 now? See, because P1 100 is working on project P1 and P2, but now he left the job. He is not working on these projects. Now who will be working on these projects P1 and P2? Not yet assign any employee. So this is none. These are not allowed here because 100 is not available now to work on P1 and P2. What we can do, we'll set it as null. It means P1, P2 is not assigned to any new employee. ESSN is null, means no one is working on P1 and P2. Just I will repeat this. Initially on P1 and P2, employee with SSN 100 is working, but now SSN 100 is not working. He's not an employee now. So because in employee table I have only two employees, SSN 200 and 300, but in project 100 project table P1 and P2 were already assigned to 100, but now 100 is not working. What we have to do? So then what happens here? This is not allowed because 100 is not at all an employee there. Then we need to reassign the projects to some other person. So before reassigning, what we need to do here? We need to set this to null. So this is called as on delete set null. Means whenever a primary key is deleted, that is on deletion of the primary key, we need to set null to the foreign key. Okay, on delete set null means on deleting primary key, set null to foreign key. If I take on delete cascade, in the same way here, what we can do, if 100 is removed, only 2 are there, then instead of just setting this to null, if currently what we can do, if no one is available to work on those projects also, better we can keep those projects pending. We cannot show in our project list as those projects are working. So what we can do, just we can delete these two tuples. So now in the project table we have only one, the project P3 on which 300 is working. This is the current status of the company where we are having employee and project. So these are the two cases for on delete constraint. Then while updating the table, how to update, and while updating, so whether it will lead to any violation of the constraints. So now we'll see here. Update or modify operation means changing the values of one or more attributes in the tuples which are already entered. In the already existing table, if you want to change values of some of the attributes, if you want to change name of the employee, if you want to change the salary of the employee, if you want to change manager of the department, if you want to change supervisor of a employee, so like this, in those cases we can update the existing values. Again, while updating, so sometimes updation may be acceptable, or again sometimes it may lead to some violation. We'll see. This is an employee table. Now what I will do, project table. So now what I'm doing here, so now earlier on project P2 employee 200 is working. So now I want to change the employee on project P2. So instead of P2 200, so now I will assign employee with SSN 100 to project P2. Is this possible? Is this okay? Whether this will violate any conditions? So what we have to do, check with the employee table whether ESSN, the foreign key is available in the primary key. Yes, 100 is available, no issues. Earlier P2 was handled or was handling by 200. Now P2 is now currently given to 100. 100 also available in the employee, 200 also available in the employee table. So there is no violation. So this condition is acceptable. So now we'll take one more violation of key. So now here again employee table we have project table. So now what I will do, in employee we have 100, 200 and 300. So now in project table 100 and 300 are referring. So now what I will do, I want to change employee SSN to again 200. I want to assign SSN for Sita also 200. Is this acceptable? We know key constraint violation means we cannot give same value for the primary key, but here I have entered 200. This is not acceptable. I want to change 300 to 200, but this is not acceptable because Lakshmana also having SSN 200. So this will say key constraint violated. Now in referential integrity constraint, so now I want to change value in the foreign key table. Initially the values are okay, acceptable, because there is no violation of key or foreign key table here. So now I want to change. Initially project 3 was handled by SSN 300. Now I want to change the employee to handle project P3. Instead of 300, I want to have given ESSN and 500. Is this acceptable now? If I assign project P3 to 500, it means SSN 500 should be an employee in the employee table. So we'll go and search in employee table. So this 500 is not available in employee for SSN, means here foreign key constraint is violated. This is not acceptable. It will say referential integrity constraint violated. So now here for the already existing values, we are trying to change the values. In such cases, it has given these three type of violations. So this is about one more example we have. SSN also I am trying to change. Then also if you change SSN or ESSN, in both cases it may lead to referential integrity constraint. So these are SSN is foreign key for a project table and ESSN is foreign key for employee table. Okay, so now here we have discussed how to insert, which are the different update operations while inserting, deleting and updating the values. Is this acceptable, or whether it will create any violation of the constraints? If it violates the constraints, so what are the different precautions we have to take, how to remove those, or what are the different options to overcome those violations are discussed here. So thank you for watching the video. If you have any doubts in the topic which I have discussed, please share your comments or questions in the comment box. And in my next session, so I'm going to discuss with you about the mapping of ER diagram to relational diagram. Very simple steps I will explain about the mapping ER to relational diagram. So if you are already subscribed, you will be getting the notification. If you are not yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and also click on the bell button so that you will get notification about my next videos. So thank you for now. So we'll meet you in the next session.